Webster roughly defines resentment as someone mistreated you, and that's the negative feeling that you have from that. I want to add to that. I think there's more to it. Resentment, the way I see it, is so you're in conflict or someone betrays you and you're hurt. That's not the first thing that you feel. The first thing you feel is sadness or betrayal, or you feel angry, or there's fear, right? There's these other emotions that you feel. Now, if you have a conversation and you work through that with the person that hurts you and you reconcile with them, it doesn't grow into resentment. I see resentment as this negative emotion that comes from you ruminating over the hurt and over the betrayal that had happened to you. And I'm not necessarily just talking about infidelity, but of course that would definitely, create resentment. All right. And then resentment, though, can turn into bitterness. And bitterness means now you're cynical and now you're critical and you become vengeful. Well, what do you mean by vengeful? Vengeance is when now you fast forward 10 years, you're fighting over the dishwasher because something, you broke a plate or something, okay, or you didn't load it right. Now there's a big fight. And then you bring up the past, something that happened 10 years ago, and then you hit them over the head with it. And it's not even related to what you're doing in the kitchen. That's you getting vengeance. You're going to feel my anger that I've been storing up for all these years, and I'm going to let you have it right now. Which means your partner's going to be really defensive, and then they're going to go on the attack. Oh, well, I have some resentment too. There's some stuff that you did to me 15 years ago. And okay, now it's like World War III over the dishes. So, and that's the other thing that resentment does. It's like, I don't think you're consciously always looking for a way to bring that out of the past, but on a subconscious level, I believe, and one of the reasons that it comes out is, one, to hurt your partner, but two, is to let them know, look, we haven't worked through this yet, and I really want to work through it, but no one is in the space to be able to do that or hear that. And so, and that is the solution to resentment, is having a conversation and resolving that. Okay? But you can't do it now because you're both defensive. So what do we do? So, you're not going to like me for this, okay? You have to be brave enough and sincere and start validating and affirming your partner. I'm going to let that sit for a minute. You're going to have to validate and affirm your partner. So to validate your partner means you find them valid. It's like validity. You've heard of that word, okay? This is true about who you are, like the good aspects, like the things that you saw in them that drew you to them initially. Man, you're so smart. You're so pretty. And you're a great father or a great mom, or, whatever those positive traits are, because you saw something in them. All right. That's the truth. You're validating them with your words, which is the affirmation piece. You're declaring or proclaiming, right, those things that you believe about them. Even though you're hurt, hopefully they're still at their core a person of character, and they still have those good qualities. Now, some people are really not in that space, and that's another conversation, okay? But most couples that I see come in, they do love each other, and they still admire one another. They're just really hurt. So one of you is going to have to be brave, and you're going to have to take a risk, all right? And you're going to have to reach out and start telling your partner those things. That's going to bring down the defensiveness. Man, you look really pretty. Man, if she hasn't heard that in 3 months or more, imagine what that's going to do. She may get defensive at first. What do you mean? I'm pretty. What do you mean by that? Is she prettier than me? Because that's what resentfulness does and being defensive does. You go on the counterattack. But you have to say, no, I really mean it. That color looks great on you. It makes your eyes really stand out. All right. So it can be anything. But you have to do that every day. Every day. Be sincere. Don't overdo it. Don't love bomb them. Just when it's appropriate and when you think about it, start doing that. to where the defensiveness starts to drop. And then hopefully they get to the point where now their defenses are low enough to where they start affirming you. Okay? Now both of your defenses are down. And start with something easy, a small hurt. You know, the other day when you called me this or that, it kind of hurt my feelings. Now they're probably in a place where they can say, yeah, I lost my cool. Actually, I had a bad day at work. I didn't get you to tell you that piece. And I took it out on you, and I'm really sorry. Now you're practicing that. And then after that, that's one little piece, right, of the pain that you resolved. Eventually, the idea is you keep validating one another, you keep affirming one another, and you get to the point where you can have the bigger conversations. You know, you cheated on me and you broke my heart. I gave my life to you, right? And we have kids together and we have a family together. And I was so afraid, and I'm still so afraid that's going to happen again. And hopefully they can open up. It's like, yeah, I messed up, but I was afraid too. You know, I felt like you didn't love me, so I went and got love somewhere else, and it doesn't justify it, but that's what happened, and I'm so sorry. See how that can happen? That's what you have to do, right? But you have to get out of this place where you're being defensive, and you have to start affirming one another, okay? And so I'm encouraging you to do that, all right? And so that's one little thing that you can do to help take your relationship to the next level. And if you want more information about that, go to relationstitch.com. And you can go deeper with that topic.